One of the most talented and transformative actors in cinema, Joaquin Phoenix.
I do something. Whether I was acting, whether I was doing music,
I sing a song, I made a real record.
I give myself to something.
Joaquin Phoenix, I think he's one of the greatest actors of our generation.
He's so alive, it's unbelievable.
Joaquin Phoenix is one of the very few actors capable of surprising viewers with each performance he delivers, no matter how many times we see him on the screen.
How do you do it?
It's basically just allowing those barriers that I have for myself to break, to let them down, and to just be as raw as possible and let the emotions and the fear and the regret and the pain of this character really come through.
Known for his dark and unsettling characters, Joaquin is one of the greatest actors alive today. But the first time we saw Joaquin adapt the nuances and personality of a truly twisted and frightening character was in the movie Gladiator, where he plays the sinister and at times hard to understand villain of Commodus, son of Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Here we see a character who is power-hungry, insecure, and desperate for approval, with Phoenix's portrayal capturing these traits so well that it feels like he truly became the villain. The entire film has us on edge because it's impossible to know what Joaquin's character will say or do next. In some scenes, he shows the character's vulnerability and insecurity, whereas in other scenes, he is ruthless, murderous, and outright terrifying to be around.
Tell me what you've been doing, busy little bee, or I shall strike down those dearest to you.
During the production, castmates famously said that Joaquin refused to drop his character even when he wasn't on film. He would carry around his sword on set and would bring it with him to his hotel room and keep it right by his side while sleeping. So for good reason, this was the first role to earn him an Oscar nomination, where he was deservingly nominated for Best Supporting Actor. But it wasn't long until we were seeing his chameleon-like abilities displayed again, when Joaquin played Johnny Cash in the biography Walk the Line. Many critics and Johnny Cash fans alike agree this was one of the best biopics of a celebrity ever made. So it's not surprising Phoenix won the Golden Globe in 2005 for his portrayal of the turbulent and complicated life that Johnny Cash lived.
Thank you very much. Who'd ever thought that I'd win in the comedy or musical category? Not expected.
To fully get into the character, Joaquin did something that many actors would consider too scary and dangerous to even consider. However, he saw it as necessary to make the role as convincing as possible. Joaquin would replicate and indulge in the addictions that haunted Johnny Cash throughout his career. This meant he would drink and smoke heavily on set, often even performing his scenes while actually drunk to appear more authentic. There were even rumors that he was popping pills throughout the production and battling unknown addictions. Regardless, it's safe to say he put himself in a dark place so he could feel the pain and emotions that haunted Johnny Cash, which most actors would consider taking things way too far for a role. One director working on the film was quoted saying, "Joaquin was not impersonating Johnny Cash, he became him." This scene in which he rips the sink out of the wall wasn't even scripted, but it's a perfect representation of his commitment to the role. But it's not just Joaquin's ability to surprise us on screen that makes him such an enigma, it's also his odd persona in real life. Fans and peers often find it difficult to understand when he is joking and when he is being serious, which only adds to the mystique. It also makes for some interesting interview moments.
Joaquin is just kind of an enigma. It's hard to understand him even when he's like sort of normal. Just a very eccentric guy. You know, you never really know what he's up to.
For it.
Troubled times?
Excuse me?
Kidding. What did you learn about yourself and your voice?
Absolutely nothing.
Yep. Came out cold. These things happen.
They do.
Then there's the time he took method acting to a whole new dimension and messed with everyone's heads in the process. Back in 2008, Joaquin announced he was retiring from acting. He said he was going to focus on a career in rap music. Now, knowing Joaquin, we know he's always been a bit unconventional, but this just didn't make sense. He then grew out a gnarly beard, wore sunglasses and messy hair everywhere, and genuinely looked like he just rolled out of bed after a week-long bender. He even had a couple of really cringeworthy public performances as a rapper. The whole thing was bizarre, and people were seriously concerned about his mental health. and he topped things off with his infamous appearance on David Letterman in 2009. Phoenix sat there, barely responsive, chewing gum, and giving these weird, cryptic answers to Letterman's questions. The whole time, he looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. At one point, Letterman even said, "Joaquin, I'm sorry you couldn't be here tonight. It was awkward, it was uncomfortable, and it was absolutely fascinating."
We're having fun.
That's
We're
fine?
having fun. Just relax, seriously. I'll come to your house and chew gum.
Okay, I don't have to
No,
chew gum,
just
dude.
relax.
I won't do the gum.
For a year, everyone thought Phoenix had completely lost it. The media was buzzing with speculation and concern. Was he really done with acting? Was he seriously pursuing a rap career? Was he okay? Turns out, it was all an elaborate ruse. Phoenix was working on a mockumentary called I'm Still Here, directed by his brother-in-law Casey Affleck. The whole thing was a performance art piece designed to blur the lines between reality and fiction. Phoenix committed to this character 24/7 for an entire year, fooling not just the public, but even his closest friends and family. The reveal was met with a mix of admiration and frustration. On one hand, it was an insane demonstration of method acting and commitment to a role. On the other hand, people felt duped, and some people didn't appreciate being part of this elaborate prank without their knowledge. But this stunt speaks volumes about Phoenix as an actor. He's not just playing a role, he's living it, breathing it, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in acting. I'm Still Here might not have been a blockbuster hit, but it's a testament to Phoenix's dedication and his willingness to take risks, no matter how outrageous they might seem. More recently, we saw a role that cemented Joaquin as one of the greatest actors of our time, where he took performance art to an eerie new height.
One small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
What's wrong with your real name?
That's what you called me on the show, a Joker. Do you remember?
Phoenix stepped into the shoes of Arthur Fleck in Todd Phillips' Joker. From the get-go, you knew this wasn't going to be your typical comic book movie. Phoenix lost a concerning amount of weight for the role, shedding around 50 pounds to transform into the gaunt, tormented figure of Fleck. This wasn't just physical transformation, it was a full-on psychological dive into madness.
I think Todd Phillips said something like, I think the character should be kind of skinny. Just kind of said it, casually, like I think. And Joaquin, I think, showed up at 124 pounds. They go, let's give you a nutritionist and everything else. And he said, no, it's okay. He just ate an apple and smoked cigarettes.
Phoenix's portrayal of the Joker was disturbing on so many levels. The way he laughed, this uncontrollable, painful cackle, wasn't just creepy, it was haunting. He crafted it to mimic a real-life condition called pseudobulbar affect, which causes bouts of uncontrollable laughter or crying. This detail alone set the tone for how deeply Phoenix embodied the character. The way he moved, too, was unsettling. Phoenix and Phillips worked on this strange, almost dance-like physicality that made the Joker's every move unpredictable and unnerving. You could feel Arthur's pain, his descent into madness, and it was all so raw and unfiltered. Watching him spiral from a struggling comedian into a cold-blooded anarchist was like witnessing a slow-motion car crash. You couldn't look away, no matter how disturbing it got. Critics and audiences were disturbed and amazed. Phoenix's performance was so intense and immersive that it left people genuinely unsettled. It wasn't just about playing a villain, it was about showcasing the human tragedy behind the mask. The performance was so powerful it sparked debates on mental health, societal neglect, and the thin line between sanity and insanity. And then came award season. Joaquin's portrayal of the Joker was universally praised, and it earned him his first ever Oscar for Best Actor.
Oscar goes to Joaquin Phoenix, Joker. This is the first Oscar and fourth nomination for Joaquin Phoenix.
God, I'm full of so much gratitude right now. And I do not feel elevated above any of my fellow nominees or anyone in this room because we share the same love, the love of film, and this form of expression has given me the most extraordinary life. I don't know what I'd be without it.
This win was a long time coming for an actor who's always put himself in the shoes of his characters, no matter how uncomfortable things get. Phoenix's acceptance speech was heartfelt and humble, a stark contrast to the chaos he embodied on screen. In a nutshell, Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker wasn't just another comic book villain. It was a masterclass in acting. He delved deep into the psyche of Arthur Fleck, creating a character that was as sympathetic as he was terrifying. This role wasn't just a performance. It was a haunting experience that left an unforgettable mark on cinema and showcased Phoenix's unparalleled talent and commitment to his craft. So, time and again, we see Joaquin altering himself physically and emotionally to truly become his characters. And it's this uncanny ability that makes him unpredictable to audiences. We even see at times it's difficult for Joaquin to know for himself when he is playing a character or when he is being his true self after so many years of extreme method acting.
I don't want to play the character of Joaquin anymore. I'm just stuck in this ridiculous, like, self-imposed prison of characterization, you know? It happened to me young.
One producer working on the Joker film even went as far as to say Joaquin is better at being a character than he is at being himself. And it's this blurred line between reality and performance art that makes Joaquin such a special actor. He isn't afraid to dive deep headfirst into the complexities of the human experience. He embodies the pain, joy, confusion, and unpredictability that comes with humanity like no other.